So, what is the difference between stress and anxiety? So, as you know, we've got a conscious mind. The conscious mind is very logical, rational, analytical. It's the sensible part of our mind that tells us how we want to behave and how we want to come across. And it helps us decide between one thing and another. And we also have a subconscious section of the mind. And that's where the memories and emotions and our beliefs are stored, the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world. That's the general gist of the mind. But there's another primitive part of the brain that is responsible for survival. It's a survival mechanism. And I think of it like this. So imagine that it is like this slinky, okay? And it sits there and it only needs to react when danger comes. So if you were a caveman years and years ago and you came across a lion or a tiger, then all of a sudden this would spring into action. And when it springs into action, that's when the nervous system is activated. That's when you feel your heart racing, your breathing becoming shallow. You might feel like your tummy feels funny because blood is rushing to the other organs of your body, to your muscles, to enable you to run and escape. And it's when we've got this surge of adrenaline that helps us to escape if we need to, right? Now, the thing is that that's what it's supposed to do. And it's only supposed to do that in the event that we are truly in danger. But the mind doesn't know the difference between what is real danger and what is perceived danger. So if you imagine a scenario, it will set off your nervous system. Maybe if you watch a scary movie, it will set off your nervous system. If you watch the news, it will set off your nervous system, right? But what about stress and anxiety? Well, when you're stressed, when you're normally just going about your day and then you come across a stressful situation, let's say you've got a deadline at work that you need to meet and you're a little bit worried about it and the day's coming on and all of a sudden you get this surge and you feel, oh, I'm not going to get it done. I'm not going to get it done in time. It springs into action, right? But then when that deadline's over and you've handed that in, everything goes back to calm, relaxed, normal. And that means that when stress is gone, everything's okay. Now, if you're chronically stressed, you'll be constantly being faced with stress throughout the day. So it might constantly be doing this, going off over and over again. And the only thing that can calm it is when the stress goes away and you're able to relax. Now, anxiety is a little bit different. People who have anxiety, there is now been proven a genetic component to anxiety. So there are some people that are more prone to a more reactive survival mechanism. So what that means is that you may already be somebody who easily gets triggered by the smallest thing. You may also find that you're always feeling anxious. So you've always got this sort of partially activated nervous system. So you're always feeling like your tummy's a little bit off and oh, your heart's racing and you're not ever able to breathe deeply. And that's because that's your norm. Your norm is sitting here when you have anxiety. And anxiety is also a learned behavior. So you could have been brought up by family members who worry all the time, and you've learned that, right? Now, obviously, if you're somebody with anxiety, what we call anxiety, and your nervous system is already partially triggered, it only takes a slight thing for it to get worse for you. And what you'll end up doing is you'll end up avoiding certain scenarios. You might find that being in social situations is difficult, so you avoid going out to parties. But you're also afraid of what people think if you don't go to the party. So you'll tell them you're going to go, but then at the last moment, you can't face leaving the house. You might also be somebody who just finds going out in public or outside scary and you end up staying inside more often because you're trying to keep it at this level. You don't want it to spring on you. And so you're trying to keep it here. Now, if you're one of those people, the chances are that part of the reason you can't escape these feelings is because instead of it being due to a stressful situation, anxiety tends to come from the thoughts we think about ourselves and the beliefs we hold about ourselves. If you feel like you're not good enough for something, or if you feel like you're not confident, or you feel like you don't belong, all those things are going to cause you to have this consistent level of anxiety. Now, the great thing is that we can help that. So, with anxiety, there's a couple of things that can help. The first one is to find relaxing things to do, things that can calm your nervous system. Anything you find calming, even if that's heavy metal music, whatever you find calming, it might be punching a punch bag, it might be going for a run, it might be sitting and doing a meditation or yoga. It's different for everybody. So when you start to relax, you can start to ease this anxiety. And also, you can train your brain when it starts to think of those thoughts, because those thoughts that come are just worries that are coming with this reaction here. So when you can start to calm that mind and say, it's all right, I'm okay, I'm at home, I'm safe, I have a roof over my head. I have everything I need. I feel calm. Everything's okay. The more you can train your brain to respond differently, the more you can start to bring that anxiety in to a more normal level. It doesn't mean that it's always going to be normal. It might it might spring up and down like this, right? But it means that you are in control, and it means that you know what you can do to help yourself. And if you have got beliefs about yourself that you know are not really true, because they really aren't, a belief is just something you think over and over again until you believe it to be true. There's no beliefs, good or bad, that are true. Once you can start to face those beliefs about yourself and start to address them and say, why do I feel this way? Whether that be through talking with a counsellor, having CBT, or going to see a hypnotherapist, once you can overcome those beliefs, you can calm that nervous system more and more until it returns to its original state.